Hey guys, Storm here. So it's been a bit of a long month here. I'd like to get these started a little bit sooner in the month, but you make do with the time that you've got. This last couple of days have been very, very long for me. My furnace went out here, and for those of you who know where I'm at, I'm up in Minnesota, and by the time it gets to December, you need your heater going. I'll have it replaced by tomorrow, but the last 2 days have been chilly. You can see some of it behind me. I have my tools out. I was trying to fix things. Found the offending item that was broken, and unfortunately, it wasn't exactly broken. It was reading exactly what it was supposed to, and it means the furnace itself is toast. So there's $4,000 I'll never see again, but fortunately, I won't have to be using the fireplace to keep the house warm for too long. Things are going pretty well, keeping things toasty here, but it's getting a little cold at night, so it is what it is. Don't need to worry about pipes freezing, at least not yet. So, in the theme of things being broken, there's a bit of a new contender for this Mead's month. We weren't planning on having a prison wine going on, but that's what's come up here at the end. We were thinking Bochet, maybe a Sizer, something a little fancier, and then coming out from behind comes Prison Wine. I love good hooch. You can make terrible, terrible brews with good practice, and it's actually really passable. There's nothing wrong with making a sugar wash with good ingredients that comes out unreasonably tasty as a hydromel. I use that mel bit a little facetiously, although you can always back sweeten this sort of thing with good honey, and it really turns out quite well that way. So, what I'm drinking today is hooch. I caramelized a 15-gallon batch of uh, Bochet. It was just sugar to like 10% alcohol by volume that I cooked for like 6 hours in a really, really big, big pot. Um, Came out very, very dark, very, very bitter. And this one I happen to be mixing one part of that Bochet hooch to 2 parts cranberry hydromel. And you put a little bit of lemon juice in to increase the acidity right in the end, and it's really quite delicious. I'm a huge pepperhead, like I've mentioned before, and with a little bit of extra capsaicin from one of my Reaper meads, and it's extremely tasty. It doesn't really taste like mead, um, but it's got alcohol, fruit, tartness, tannins, and it's balanced. I could give that to someone and they would enjoy drinking it. I wouldn't tell them that here's the introductory challenge to mead, here's how things are supposed to be, great examples of fine wines made with honey. But sometimes you want your best mead, and sometimes you want something that's 50 cents a gallon. And there's good ways to do it. The first way is with a Costco membership. I will shamelessly say that that is where you should be buying all your fruit if you are looking to get a good introduction to cheap fruit. There are better places to buy fruit than that, especially if you're buying bulk to the point where shipping costs don't matter. But man, being able to buy, pounds and pounds and pounds of like a blackberry raspberry mix and have it only be $2 a pound. I mean, what are you gonna go do? That's cheaper or more cost effective than that for high quality fruit. For our brewing, frozen fruit is great. You get a good mix with it. You get good mangoes. If you want to do a mango habanero with a sugar wash, yeah, that gets the job done at 5% alcohol. No problem at all. So for me, this time around, I was at the local Eastern European store. I don't know what that says exactly, but this is birch sap. Supposedly, I suspect it's probably caught with a little bit of high fructose corn syrup, but that's just fine. Um, $6. I'm gonna ferment it. This is not my usual go-to for making high quality stuff, but I'll go put that in a 3-gallon batch, dilute it a little bit, probably about 30% by volume, and it's going to be the perfect specific gravity for making a hydromel. Carb it up, see how it goes. Check it later. Does it need a little bit more acidity? Does it need a little bit more sugar? You put in xylitol, erythritol, lactose, oak. I'm guessing this one's probably going to need a little bit of oak to help balance it out, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with this one. I've never fermented Ukrainian birch syrup before. So, what do you do if you want to make heresy? That was what the poll was titled here. Behind me, no, other side. Behind me, you can see there's a beer going on. Maybe you don't want to get too creative with it. Maybe you just do a beer and you back sweeten with it just a little bit of honey, and you call it some braggot. I mean, it counts if it tastes like honey and it tastes like beer. Maybe you do a sugar wash in fruit. Triple berry, orange blossom, uh, orange blossom honey for back sweetening if you feel like, but then just orange zest in secondary. That makes a incredible low ABV, kind of sugar wash sort of thing. Um, what else? You can get frozen cherries. If you want to do hibiscus, a little bit of a hibiscus, a little bit of cherry, and some sugar. And again, carb it up. You see the repeating theme here? Put a little bit of carbonation in there. You call it sparkly. You call it easy slammer. Skeeter Pea. Skeeter Pea is a really iconic intro to brewing. Um, you use Lavin 1118, enough sugar to get to about 5-6% alcohol by volume, and just balls to the walls amount of lemonade afterwards. I've seen some people that do it with all lemonade, no water. I'd probably do a little bit less than that, or use lemonade concentrate. It allows you to be specific and secondary without dropping your pH too much. A couple of different ways to do it. You can Google. The internet has covered Skeeter Pea to death and back, but definitely use something that's good on pH, like 1118. And the whole thing is go do this with modern nutrition. Do it with modern nutrition and then compare it from a honey hydromel to a prison wine hydromel. See what comes out. See what you like. See what is worth your money. We're here making fine wine, and we're also here making something that we can drink. There are some places where it matters more or it matters less when you're looking for good quality ingredients. And this could help you find out when it's important. A good oak might be more important than a good honey if it's just going to all ferment away. If you've got very little other sugars, they're not going to stand proud with those fine floral characters of a really nice honey. Maybe you don't get too prison wine with it and you just use melter honey. It's what, $2 a pound? $1.75 if you get a really good deal for it. And Melter's honey, it's got a little bit of body to it, so maybe you don't need that lactose or erythritol in secondary. There's a lot of really good options that you can do without breaking the bank on this sort of thing. And if you screw anything up too bad, you can always add hot peppers, and no one will be able to tell what sins you've committed. So a little bit of habanero covers awful lot of defects if it's something you just end up not feeling too much. So to wrap it up, make it with sugar, make it with honey, maybe make a beer if you're feeling guilty about getting too much prison wine. But try making something on the cheap this time around and see if it's worth the time and if the money that you save is fun. Anyhow, see you around. Thanks for your time.